Right now we live.
Doing both at the same time?
At the same damn time.
Yep.
I think I gotta go this way though.
Well, then how are they going to...
They can see.
Okay.
Folks, welcome to the Stack with Nat Show.
Boom.
I'm National. My man Smokestack. We Stack. Where we at?
Daly's Pub.
Of course we are. Home base. What we got on today's show, Stack?
We're back live. We just came off of a podcast. We met a new guy from the Midwest. Shout out to Paul Pate.
Paul Pate, the Paul Pate podcast. We're going to be on his podcast show. We filmed part 1 today. We're going to be back with him again soon.
From time to time.
From time to time. We'll be checking in with Paul.
Interesting guy.
Oh, yeah. He's an artist. He does the what's that? I forget that.
Sabateo.
Yeah, soccer or something. But
Solitaire player.
Yup.
Just getting in.
Just getting in. Yeah,
Excited.
Just getting in. Yup. So he saw a couple Stack with Nat shows, and hey, he loves it. But Stack, what's today? Thursday evening. Oh, before we even get going, hold up. These things have been sitting here a little long.
Brian Phillips watching.
We got to do
our first watcher.
We got our
as is customary on the Stack with Nat.
There you go.
This helps the information
That's
flow.
It, flow.
Bang.
Lemon drop shops going down. Here you go. Now it's time to do a show. Hey, Brian, real quick, are you guys doing your college league tonight? I didn't know. Usually on Thursdays you guys get the college game. I didn't see nothing posted about who was playing tonight. But back to while we're here, Stack, our Super Bowl is not this Saturday. It's next Saturday, June 24th. Saturday, we'll be here at Daly's Pub for the big game.
The big show.
And before we get to telling you who is in that show, we're going to rewind back to Saturday to the games that was. And we'll start with the AFC games. Brian says no games tonight. Okay. Sunday. Saturday games. Okay.
Alvin Liggins in the house.
So,
hey, Al.
Saturday with the AFC wild card, we had the Browns coached by Brian Phillips versus Kenny King, the Chargers. That was our 3-6 matchup. The Browns were the 6th seed, traveling into San Diego. Phillips was hyped. He came in. Well, he's always dressed to the colors with Browns repping his team.
Look good. but
he had the music blaring, and I think he was a little bit too amped myself. I think he was trying to cover up some nerves. Stack. He might have had a little bit of butterflies. And he came out really flat against Kenny King, who is a seasoned veteran in Philly NFL.
Got a little bit unglued on some rules. Yeah. But it's a little late in the season to try to adjudicate rules.
Yes. What should and what shouldn't be.
Right.
And
you made valid points.
He did.
But there's a time and place for it.
Right. But football is football and electric football is electric football. Kenny won the game, I think, 20-6. Kenny won the game. And it was a quick showing for the Browns. But I want to give Brian a special shout out because he ended the curse of the Browns.
Resurrected a moribund franchise that was going nowhere over the last few years. I give all the coaches respect. We've had Tom Johnson, we've had George Steinman, we've had a number of people
we have Floyd Tate, we have
come
Buford,
and pick up on the Browns.
Right. But nobody was able to do it.
In terms of being able to finish out the season. And represent the hobby in the truest sense as a ambassador, as a coach, as someone to be admired. Brian Phillips,
he's a straight up guy. He's running his own league, so he's got a ways to go, but he's learning on the fly. And I like his character. You can never question Brian's character.
Desire.
Not even desire, his character. And when you run in a league, and when you're the guy that's going to be the guy of a league, you have to have strong character. And I sense that about Brian right away.
Thick skin,
but he's not worried about winning. He's worried about doing the right thing and playing the right way.
Moving the hobby forward.
So he's a good guy for in his position that he's in.
Absolutely.
So, my hat's off to Brian for getting the Browns into the playoffs. There were some teams that, if they had played their games, would have knocked him out easily. But at the end of the day, Brian played all his games, and he was in.
Kind of like a participation trophy?
Nah. He earned it. But he was one and done. The next AFC wildcard game pitted the number 5 seed against the number 4 seed. And the number 5 seed was one of the best number 5 seeds in the history of the AFC in NFL history, football. And that was Jim Davis at 14-2, was a 5th seed.
What?
Yes.
How'd that happen?
Hey, he didn't win his division.
Because Damon dominated.
Because Damon won. So Buffalo Bills, coached by Hall of Famer Jim Davis, visited Darren Germani and the Who Dey Nation Cincinnati Bengals. And I want to say, of all the games, this game was probably going in, looked as the most lopsided of them all. And guess what, Stat? It was. It was lopsided, but in the other way. Everybody to a man thought Jim Davis was going to mop Germani up and down the field. Mush. It didn't happen. Germani came in with a game plan, and he stuck to it. 21-0.
What?
21-0.
Like Mike Tyson
Bengals
said.
Over the
everybody got a plan
Bills.
Till you get hit.
Well, Jim Davis been hit plenty of times. That guy, you can't question his pedigree. He's played all over the world.
He played a masterful game. Jim couldn't run. He had to go to the pass.
And it was
Jim
over.
is not known as a prolific passer. Serviceable, but not prolific.
No.
And if
you can get him to turn to just the passing game to stay in the game, then you did your job. So that was a masterful job by Darren Germani winning that wild card game.
21-0. So he moved on.
So then we go over to the NFC. The 3-6 matchup. The Seattle Seahawks, James Harris, against the 49ers and Corey Johnson. Stack, you didn't have much to say about that? It was very, very interesting to say the least. My Saturday started off, a good friend of mine that I grew up with passed away about a week ago, Christy Morris. So early Saturday morning, had to throw on my black, go to the funeral home for the service. Saw a lot of the family. Few of the people that I grew up with were there. So I'm at the service. The service starts. I'm sitting in the back, and the service is going. And now it's getting time. Like, I know the guys are coming to the pub to start their playoffs. So, I mean, it was really tough to leave the service, but I had to come to the pub to open up the door. And when we came upstairs, where me and Stack is at right now, it was hot as a desert, Stack. It was hot. I still had my outfit on from the funeral. Joe Greco had pulled up, who had a playoff game. And we made a decision to go into the back room, right? The back room where we played the game. Wasn't that? No. I'm all confused.
No, we
played up here. We stayed up here. That's right. Brian Phillips. See, it's all
blurry.
It's all blurry. Phillips and all them came. They said it wasn't too bad to play upstairs. So we decided to have Saturday games upstairs. So I set everything up. I was still dressed up.
So you didn't really...
Jamie came in. Jamie was running late. So Jamie, my opponent, shows up. We get all the games. I do all the weigh-ins and check-ins. Even before the games we talked about earlier, guys. Jamie shows up. So then I said, all right, Jamie, I'll be back. I got to go get changed. So I go home. I get my team. Wasn't even changed over yet in the white. I had to be in the white. I'm in my night here. I change my team over. I get weighed in. We start playing.
So wait a minute, let's back up.
Go ahead.
So Friday night and Thursday night, there was no time to practice.
No.
Prior to this key playoff game.
No.
So you get here and you come back, weighing in and changing over. Is about an hour and 15-minute process.
Well, I got a pretty good system of doing it. It didn't take that long. I just had to make sure the guys had the right tape.
So you had to run your men.
No, but running your men, I was on the road. So running my men on my board wasn't going to prepare me for what I had to play on Jamie's board. They run totally different. Right. But I didn't get no practice in, to say the least. Taking nothing away from Jamie. So we start the game. I think I had to punt the first series. Jamie gets the ball. He comes down and scores. Goes for 2. I stop him. 6-0. Seahawks lead. I get the ball again. He's got me backed up to the end zone. I go to punt. Sacks the punter. Safety. 8-0. Now I got to kick off to him. Now we're in the second
action.
Right.
At the repass. And you would have regretted that.
I would have regretted it. That was the whole thing. I knew all the people was there, and it was just weighing on me. And that's not to take away nothing from Jamie. Jamie would have probably beat me. Who knows? But 8-0 at the 15-yard line. I was in the game. And so that game ended 8-0. Seattle moves on. Okay? The other NFC wildcard game was Keith Chalmers as the 5 seed traveling to the Carolina Panthers. No. Keith was the 5th seed traveling to the 4th seed, Jeff McCauley. Right. Jeff McCauley was the Panthers, the division winner of the NFC South.
Right.
That game, a lot of people say it could go either way. My money was on Keith Chalmers. That guy is a legend, another MFCA Hall of Famer. And he won that game 10-7. It was close. It was tight. McCauley, who was the reigning NFL champion, played well in his first season in the NFL.
2015-16.
2016 NFL champ. His first season in the NFL. He played well, but he came up short against Keith. Now, folks, that set up the next round of playoff games. We're into the divisional round. We're still here at the pub on Saturday. We had the Seattle Seahawks going up against the number 2 Giants and Joe Greco. That was one matchup. Stack, that was a game I totally missed because I had left, but they said it was really no contest.
Well, it was the Giants came out early with 2 field goals and were up 6-0. Jamie had some trouble. He got on track. They were playing at New York because Joe was a higher seed. He got on track, started sacking the Giants. Joe. He couldn't do his run. He couldn't really get his passes off. Started to build up some momentum, and he eventually, scored the next 22 points unanswered.
Right.
In contrast to that, towards the end of the season, Joe had some games where he can light you up for 35, 42 points.
He has one of the
and
most
one of the best kicking games around.
Special teams excellent.
So I would say on that particular day, Joe playing on his home board in a big game like that, his offense didn't get on track, and obviously he had trouble stopping the Seahawks run game. Seahawks win 22-6 to advance. Joe actually tapped out 3 minutes into the fourth quarter.
So, wow. So Joe scored 6 straight, and then Jamie came back and scored 22 unanswered. Wow. So that was the one. So Jamie advances to the NFC Championship game. The other game, the divisional game in the NFC, pitted the #1 Packers versus his arch nemesis, Keith Chalmers, and the Green Bay Packers, and a game that Brian Phillips refereed. And that game was over in the corner in our little primetime spot. And that was a pretty good game. I was back by that time. That was probably the last game going on the other day.
It wasn't as close as the final score because there were certain stretches where Andrew was up by more than 14 points.
Okay.
16, 15 points. But it ended up being a barn burner. Now, when those two coaches get together, there's respect, but there's no love lost.
No,
essentially, I describe it as you need a whip and a
lion tamer, right?
Lion tamer.
Caution tape around.
We ended up having to bring in reinforcement refs. Harold came.
Yeah.
Kenny went over and helped, and Brian.
And
they were the only ones that could bring
some calm to
some calm and some discipline to that game.
It was wild.
It ended up going a barn burner of a game. Andrew wins that 35-29 to advance, which was huge.
Yeah, I think he had the lead in the ball. He couldn't get a stop. So Andrew advances to the NFC Championship against the Seahawks. So you got #1 versus #3. Now we had an overall #1 seed, Damon Lucas and his New York Jets, hosting the Cincinnati Bengals.
The upstart Bengals who had beat Jim
Davis.
Who had
just upset Jim Davis. That game was a good one, Stack.
Playing on
the scale was
full scale board. The board's so big, you had to take a full...
Arguing and carrying on. But this game was refereed. Kenny and Damon did an excellent job. I was here to watch it. Jamie didn't have any answers for the Packers offense. I mean, he got guys open. He hit the passes. Jamie couldn't mush the Packers around. Which is what Jamie wants to do. He wants to mush you down and just impose his will on you.
Paul Pate.
And Andrew wouldn't let that happen. Andrew girded up on defense. He did.
He had a game plan.
He had a game plan for Jamie. And that game, I mean, even though he got a score at the end of the game, he just padded the score. The story was close. It wasn't a close game.
Well, Andrew scored late.
Late. That make it even worse.
It was 35 to
14, 35 to 20, 14?
Something like that.
Something like that.
But it wasn't as close.
But it wasn't a real close game. Andrew thoroughly outplayed the Seahawks and Jamie. Take my hats off to Jamie for another remarkable season, another NFC West crown. Andrew's on to the Super Bowl. Okay? Now we move into the AFC game. Kenny King.
Sunday we played in the
diner.
We had air conditioning.
Yes. Yeah. Stack makes a good point. I had my days mixed up. We come in on Sunday. It is a desert up here, Stack. It was suffocating. Johnny was telling us, "There's no way I can cool it off. You guys are better in the back dining room."
Well, first he offered
which
the
we
front
was.
bar because it was a little slow.
No. The bar was going on. It had a pool thing going on Sunday. He didn't offer the front. He said upstairs or the back dining room. The back dining room worked out great for the championship Sunday, folks. This place, Stack, I can't say enough about how they take care of us in here. This place is so huge. Games went well. We had air. Nobody was hot. It was great. We go into the AFC Championship game, and Damon is kind of having his way.
He's on his big board.
He's on his big board. He's the home field. He's kind of having his way with Kenny. He's up. He's got the ball. Kenny's doing his onsides. Kenny's laying the ball down, but Damon is recovering. 3 times Kenny tried, and Damon recovered the onside. But now we go late in the game, Stack. I'm talking about under 2 minutes. Damon hits a pass to Walter, number 19, and he stopped him. He didn't let him go in the end zone. He stopped him short, folks. He was thinking he wanted to burn up more time. And we were streaming this game live.
He stopped it short.
He stopped it short.
Yeah.
He did.
That's right.
Folks, we were streaming this game live. A lot of people was like, no, take the point, score, 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 score. I think he was up 7 at the time. Or maybe 8. Maybe 8 or 7, I forget. But he stopped it. Kenny holds him to 4th down. Damon decides to go for a field goal. After the 1 second runoff for the block, Kenny didn't get in. Stack, he had a man open on the fake that was eligible. He didn't want to throw the pass. He said, I'm kicking field goal. Kick the field goal, he's up. Now he's up 11 points. He's up 2 scores.
With less
under than 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Under 2 minutes.
Maybe a minute, 35.
30-something. Yeah. Maybe, yeah.
Most guys would have just folded up their 10.
Now he kicks off. Kenny's got the ball. Kenny's, as we say, matriculating down the field. He's using time. He's using timeout. Kenny scores.
By then he had no time.
Now Kenny scores. Now he has to go for 2-point conversion. He got it. Now he's down 3 points. Now we're talking seconds is left in this AFC Championship game. Kenny attempts his 4th onside of the game. He got it. The one he needed without a question of a doubt, he got it. He recovers at about the 50-yard line. Now the Chargers is in business. The Jets on their heels a little bit. Now we're talking under 20 seconds.
No timeouts.
No timeouts. He gets a guy open. The guy wouldn't get enough yards. Kenny throws it away. Lines up again. He gets 39 open. Danny Woodhead would be the MVP of the game. This guy could not be covered. He was open way downfield. Kenny attempted to pass.
Way down.
Way down.
Like 40 yards.
40 yards on that big board. Kenny missed him. He missed him.
But hit the other guy.
No, he missed him. Then he lines up again. Now we're at the last, basically
12 seconds.
12 seconds it was, 17 seconds. He lines up again. 39 gets open again. Now they're at the 3-yard line. But now 39 is next to another player. Kenny called 39 on a pass. And we talking about another 40-yard
in the air
on a Jerry McGee scale-size board.
Nails it.
He hits the wrong player on the back of the base. And in our league, if you call one guy and hit the other guy, he's down there. So now he hits the guy. He's got no timeouts. Now what Damon should have did, the clock stops for separation, for the defense to get separated. I mean, it was a lot of talk to Andrew, bungled the time or whatever. I'm not sure.
What should Damon have done?
Damon said, gang, the clock should run. Damon's just talking. Kenny's picking up men kind of like lining them. The clock should run. Andrew says, no, separation. So Damon starts picking his men. What I would have did was just grab every man and just threw him back to my side of the field and say, run that clock. But Damon was kind of getting his guys in order while Kenny's lining up. The clock's counting down. Andrew's counting. 3, 2, he spiked. So he got an illegal, it was nuts. Kenny took his men out, he called spike, he took his men. People were saying where they sat. I didn't know. I saw a man out of bounds. Stack said that man didn't count. Stack, you saw it. You said he was in a legal.
Well, the rule says you must line up in a legal formation. Mm-hmm. That means any 7, including your quarterback, your guard can be, playing tight end, whatever.
Yeah.
On the line. Yeah. So the center sets the line of scrimmage in our league. So once your center's at the line of scrimmage, your guys can be back off a yard or 2.
Yes.
They don't even have to be straight.
No, they can be crooked.
Now, when someone's counting in your ear from 3 seconds down, imagine that. It's kind of like the cup game, trying to set up cups.
Yes.
He set up 7. He put 2 more in the 3 more in the backfield, and he knew he didn't have 11. He couldn't find the other guy because the other guy was out of bounds. He says set. match
Spike.
set.
He said Spike. Spike.
Okay, now, no time left. You get a chance for one more play.
Right.
And that's what he did.
And that's what he had.
But
I mean, there was a lot of talk about...
The conjecture in the crowd said that he wasn't in a legal formation. But if you've ever been in that situation and seen what people call a legal formation, when you
need 7 on.
That's it.
And he had his 3 in the backfield.
As long as they're not outside the tackle.
Right. I was wondering if the running backs were more than 20 yards back, and everybody...
It was perfect. The quarterback was behind center,
yes.
and the 2 backs were all
there.
set. He didn't have the 4th guy, and that was fine.
That was fine.
Okay? Now, it was fast forward.
Okay, so now he calls spikes. Damon is a little was he set? Was he set? He's a little discombobulated. Another thing I would have did, Damon had a timeout in his pocket. I might have called a timeout just to reset myself, just to maybe ask some questions. But Damon just lined up. Kenny was lined up for one more play from about the 2-yard line, down 3 points.
Could have kicked the field goal.
He could have kicked the field goal and went to overtime. He said, I'm going for the win. So he lines up a play. Damon lines up a defense. He double teamed number 39. He put 2 guys on him. I remember that. I was kind of filming for our Facebook Live on the miniature site. So I was trying to look through the camera. I missed a lot. I got criticized for not having everything. But the referees, Andrew and Jamie, both said that the Chargers recovered the onside, which was right. They said he was in a legal formation, which was right. That Ed co-signs. He said he was. Ed was watching. Ed is on the film. You can see Ed said that he was good.
Play of the game?
Last play of the game, Kenny turns the board on. The quarterback's moving slowly forward. He stops it. He looks around. There was really nobody open.
No, the pitch was there, but he didn't go.
He didn't go for the pitch. He had a pitch. He had no receivers open. He said, keep it with Phillip Rivers. And he has a very, very slow quarterback. Damon's defensive lineman blew by him. And he just creeped right in the end zone. Game over. Chargers win. Chargers on to the Super Bowl. It was bananas. It was a circus in there. We had people talking. It was crazy. It was crazy.
But that's how it goes.
That's how it goes. I mean,
time of season.
Damon had a great season. Damon went 16-0, but didn't make the Super Bowl. He joins Calvin Lomax, who coached the Tennessee Titans to a 16-0 regular season and lost in the AFC Championship. In the NFL. He joins Corey Johnson, who coached the 49ers to a perfect regular season, 16-0. Lost in the NFC Championship game to Al Harvey. Calvin Lomax lost to Adrian Baxter. So Damon is not alone going 16-0 in this league and not making a Super Bowl. I mean, hats off to him, Stack. He's a true champion. He went out fighting. I was kind of rooting for him because I wanted to see that Andrew Damon rematch. But Kenny is a formidable opponent. He's a former NFL champion. And a lot of people give him more than a puncher's chance against Andrew to win this game. Because, folks, he is never out of a game. Not only can Kenny pass, he can run, he knows football, and he knows these rules. Okay? Besides all that, the guy can put an onside kick on demand.
It doesn't matter. He could be 16 down, 21 down with 4 minutes left and maybe 2 timeouts or 1. Not 3. By that time of game, you usually don't have 3. And
what he did against Damon, which is one of the best coaches
textbook
in our league's history, Damon Lucas, was phenomenal.
On the big board.
He never gave up. He never doubted himself. He put down 3 onsides and Damon recovered them all. Damon was like, I got it. You ain't getting them against me.
Most people would have just given up right there after the first or second onside. Remember,
well, he did them 3 times in
2 minutes. And then
a minute.
And then to be able to have a chance with the ball back suggests he was playing defense as well.
Oh, yeah.
At the highest level.
He stopped Damon in the red zone, inside the 20. Okay.
Now, people forget about that. They just remember the end of the game.
Right.
But suffice it to say, who do we have left?
Suffice it to say, we have Andrew Stewart, who's probably the greatest passer in the games in our league's history. I'm gonna say James Cruz is number 2. Andrew is in the Super Bowl, laser sharp passer, going against Kenny King, who's been playing in this league since he was 9 years old. Kenny's like 31 years old. You know what I mean? He took a couple years off when he went to college, and then he came back.
Right.
And that's our Super Bowl. Green Bay versus
football,
against the Chargers.
Coaches, youth football.
Coach, yeah.
Helps out high school. But really, and so he's a master of football. But so when you see him in here...
Stack, what kind of year could this be for Kenny, who, remember, got married. Just got married. We went to his wedding.
I think, I'm not going to give you a prediction. We'll do that another time. But what I will say is this, is that the way I saw him play over that weekend, I was here Saturday and Sunday, in the NFL, no matter what's going on, no matter what the peanut gallery says, no matter what the haters say, and you're trying to play your game. And
I got hate mail.
And there's haters.
There's haters.
The ability to focus, laser focus, for 60 minutes with all the clocks beeping and all the crowd around and you needing to move to the next level, that's what separates great coaches from just good coaches.
Right.
And the people that we have in there and the people that were in that Final Four and the Final 8, they're all good coaches, great coaches.
The top 12.
But the top 2 that made it survived that Shark Tank round.
Well, going into the Super Bowl game, guys, Kenny King, let's go back, has played both games. Well, the first game he won going away. The divisional round he won on the last play of the game. On his defense, with his defense. He stopped Creasy at the 2-yard line. This game in the championship won on the last play of the game with his offense. He's been in nail biters his last 2 games. Right. The Packers and Andrew has not been in a close game this playoffs.
But they advance. Andrew played defense.
But what I'm saying is that if this Super Bowl gets close, will Andrew unravel?
That's what I'm saying.
That's what we don't know.
Come down to who can stay laser focused the most.
Oh, look at Cruz watching. Cruz at number 2. Hey, Cruz, this boy is bad, Cruz. You was a bad man. Cruz is the best coach I ever won. I never beat him. Never beat Cruz. Cruz, you the man. But as far as passing, I think Andrew got you, big guy. He got you. Bring your triple threat quarterback up to the
John
pub.
Wharton in the house. Clifford Gibbs, Roger Fisher. Drew Sparks in the house.
Big Drew.
Gentlemen, welcome.
Give him a big stack with that.
Welcome back, Drew. We did a podcast earlier with a guy we just met. He was on earlier.
Yeah, Paul. I know Paul.
And then since
Paul
we're still here, we had some Wi-Fi. We decided to do a stack with Nat Show.
A playoff recap and a Super Bowl preview, folks.
Unscripted. We have no notes.
With no notes.
I happen to have the scores so I can. But
I knew him offhand.
I didn't even need to give him the score.
We do this
as a labor of love. It's unscripted. It's from the heart. And next week it's going to get better. The build up over the first 3 days.
We're going to have the program.
We'll have the brochure, the program.
We'll have the
You'll have all the facts. You can come in here. If you make it, there'll be a big screen.
This is our 20th season. Cruz, we want you to come up. Try to come up. Brian Healy, come up. This is our 20th season. I know Mark Thompson
Bring the legends back.
I want to bring the legends back. I'm going to talk to Paula Daniels. I'm going to talk to John Bullock. This is our 20th year doing this thing. And I want all our past heroes here for this big game and for this celebration.
There's one of us that won't be back.
Who?
David Fox.
Oh, yeah. Damn. You scandalous. You got no integrity. David Fox, but we still honor him. We honor him to this day. We have the memorial
David
reward
Fox.
To the coach that best
exemplifies
sportsmanship and integrity. A couple of things that Fox was lacking in, but in his name,
but nonetheless,
we have a reward for David Fox.
He was a liar, a cheat, and a pirate. But we loved him.
Right. We want to get plain vanilla. Yeah, that was another one, Spike.
That was the classic.
That was good. I just showed him plain vanilla.
He lost a playoff game one
33
time.
to
Cruz?
Abby.
To Abby.
We said 31 to 3.
David, what happened? He said I was just showing him plain vanilla.
I said he must have liked vanilla because he ate shit up. Oh my God.
Also, before, with all the fanfare for the Super Bowl, try to get here a little early and watch the Pro Bowl.
That's going to be a good one. The AFC is going to be missing because Davis and Damon Lucas is not going to make the trek down. So that's two of the top receivers, the top running back in the AFC. All the power. AFC is in trouble this year, Stat. We're going to roll them.
We say this, but the AFC has been winning the last 3, I think, in a row.
Hey, Cruz, it's next Saturday, Cruz, June 24th. I know you're going to be at Xfinity. Maybe you can shoot by early. We can take some photos, Cruz.
Take a platter.
Take a platter with you if you like. But, Cruz, please try to stop by. I'm going to try to get in touch with Myron Evans. Mark Thompson always comes because he knows it's free food.
Right.
Thompson always shows up.
Tight as he is.
We're going to try to get Paul. Paul is probably going to be the toughest one to make it because Saturdays, he's a car salesman now. That's his big day. But if we can get all our legends back for our 20th season, that'd be a great thing, guys. That's really about it. The big game, Saturday, June 24th. Andrew the Question Stewart against Kenny the Kid King. Packers versus Chargers for all the marbles. Andrew is trying to win his first trophy ever.
Well, he hasn't won the Super Bowl?
He hasn't won the Super Bowl. This is his second appearance in the Super Bowl. King is trying to join that rare air with Ben Creasy Daniels, with Keith Chalmers, with Al Harvey, with Mark Thompson. 2-time champions in this league. Another thing, a little tidbit that you might not know. With this, the Chargers going to the Super Bowl, between Tom Johnson, who took the Chargers to 2 Super Bowls, and Kenny King took the Chargers to, the Chargers have been in the NFL Super Bowl more than any other franchise in NFL history. The other teams that's been in it, the Patriots, 2-1 in Super Bowls, and the Seahawks, 1-2, have been in the Super Bowl 3 times.
Seahawks always with Jamie?
Seahawks always with Jamie, Patriots always with Thompson. The Chargers 4 times with 2 different coaches.
Interesting tidbit.
Yeah, Brian Healy been to the Super Bowl twice with the Falcons. 0-2 in the Super Bowl.
Wolf in the house. Brian Healy in the house. Don't forget OJ is in Philly. What's he mean by that?
Oh, yeah, Brian, I got you. He'll be playing on the NFC side, I guess.
Right.
But
you heard about that.
Yeah, Brian told me. Oh yeah, Sunday was another cheesesteak day. Brian Healy and his son came up with Beth, his wife. They came up Sunday. Brian was like, I want to take you guys to another the best cheesesteaks. He took them to Steve's, Prince of Steaks, over there on Bustleton.
What did Jim and Damon think?
Damon, they didn't like it. They didn't like it better than Jim's steak. Jim saw the way it was being cooked, didn't even order one. Damon did buy one. He ate it. He said he didn't like it better than Jim's. But shout out to Brian Healy and his family for putting up Damon and Jim.
Awesome job.
I mean, Brian, hats off to you, brother. Hats off to
family.
To Brian Healy. He's family. Without Brian's hospitality of putting Damon,
couldn't pull it off.
We couldn't pull it off. He even put Chuck Lawrence up. So Healy, I mean, he's not playing right now. He does a lot with his son, with coaching and stuff. Committed. But without Brian Healy, we don't have a Jim Davis in our league. We don't have a Damon Lucas league. We wouldn't have Chuck Lawrence that played the 1 year.
And they come up for opening week and Essington
and the playoffs. And Brian
don't ask for a dime.
And opens his house to them guys. So